Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie. I'm a full-time trader and a mentor in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video, we're going to update Bitcoin and we're going to take a look at ETH. Of course, this is just my bias and it's not financial advice. If you are interested in daily updates, I update my Discord every day. The link is in the description below. All right, let's get started. So we have the mega bull scenario for Bitcoin. We've been over this every video, but we're going to go over it again for those of you that this is your first time tuning in. What we want to happen is we want this current leg to the upside to be the start of something. We want it to be the wave one in blue. We want to see a tiny little pullback that does not break 43,500. We must hold that line. And then we want to push up for the 3, the 4, the 5. Once we get up into this area is where the magic happens, and we want these fourth waves to hold support on each other. We want to pull back for a 4, push up for a 5, pull back for a 4, push up for a 5. This must happen. If we get up into this area and Bitcoin reverses and comes through the blue 4 and comes to the downside, that will not be good. This will prove that this move to the upside was an ABC structure, which we'll go over in just a second. All right, so like I said, we want this wave to be the start of something and we want to see it finish. It's not quite done yet. When it pulls back, it needs to hold 43,500. It needs to flip this price action to support. If it fails to do that and it breaks through this area, we do have one more bull option on the table. And that is that this wave was a 1, that this wave was a 2, and that this current wave is a 1, and it's pulling back for a 2. If this is the case, Bitcoin must hold 30K. It cannot come through the top of this price action. Now, of course, we would rather this leg be the start of something, it pull back and blast to the moon. But if it breaks through this correction, we will have another bull scenario on the table. Okay, so what if Bitcoin breaks through 43,500 and then it doesn't hold 30K and it breaks through this area also? It will prove that this structure was a zigzag, an ABC, a 535, and that this wave was an A wave, this wave was a B wave, and that it's coming down to the downside in a C wave. Now it can make a running flat where it doesn't break the bottom of this A wave and makes a higher low. That would actually be very bullish for Bitcoin. We would look at this as a wave 2. It would mean that it would blast to the upside. It would just be later in time. It can also break the A wave and make an expanded flat where it would come much deeper. I wouldn't worry about this scenario till it happens. And the first clue is going to be a break of 30K. Now, of course, I'll be able to tell before that, and I will definitely be updating if that's the case. Okay, so let's talk about this current leg that we're in and what the options are. The first option is that we want this leg to be the start of something. We want this to be a wave 1, and we want to see Bitcoin pull back for a wave 2, not coming through 44,082. It must flip this price action to support. What does it need to do? It needs to hold fourth wave territory, not come through the 0.5 retracement, and hold the line at 46,889. It can totally hold where it's at, but that's the deepest we want to see it come, and then push up for a 5th. Prove that it's a wave 1, and then pull back for a wave 2 and not come through the top of this price action. Now say that Bitcoin fails here and it comes deeper It will prove that it's in the correction in yellow. But the good news is if Bitcoin's going to be bullish, and this was an A wave, and this was a B wave, and it's coming down for C, we want to see it hold that higher low. So even if it breaks down, we want 44,000 to hold. So I hope I explained that pretty simply. Let me know in the comments, and let's move on to ETH. All right, so ETH is the exact same thing. We want this to be a nest of 1-2s. It doesn't matter if you want to call this one and all of this 2, or you want to break it up and say that this was 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It really doesn't matter. What matters the most is that we want ETH, this current leg, to be the start of something. We want to see it finish and then pull back and flip this price action to support. Prove that it's a wave 1 and a wave 2. To do that, it must hold 2,300. If it breaks 2,300, just like Bitcoin, we have another option on the table, is that this entire structure was 1 and that it's pulling back for a deeper 2. It must hold the top of this price action and not come through 1,900. Okay, so ETH is exactly like Bitcoin. We want ETH to prove that it's making a wave 1. To do that, it needs to hold fourth wave territory. It cannot come through 2476. And actually, the 0.5 retrace is really the deepest we would want to see it come at 2534, but we will allow that wick through. So if the blue wave 4 wants to come deeper, that is just fine as long as it doesn't break the line. And then we want to see it push up for a wave 5. We want to see it invalidate this being an A wave, this being a B wave, and it coming down for a C. Now, just like Bitcoin, if it fails here to hold a fourth wave and it doesn't push to the upside, we want to see this partner leg hold a higher low. So why do we want it to hold this higher low in 2476? As you can see, the 618 retracement is sitting right there for this partner leg. Coming down to the next fib level at 1-to-1 at 2285 is going to be too deep into this price action to prove that it's a wave 1 and a wave 2. All right, so I hope that wasn't too complicated, and let me know in the comments. And also, if you watch this to the end, let me know which altcoin you are requesting for next video. Have a wonderful weekend.